All right, guys, we are live. Welcome into Extra Point on this Monday. Looking for some confirmation that I am indeed live. I always make sure I get to the first person watching. I want to make sure you guys can hear me. Yes, always that first person that's on that. There we go. Okay, I just checked it on my own phone. But anyway, welcome in, guys. It is Extra Point with Phil Jones. Come on in. The water is just fine as we are getting ready to talk high school football for the next at least hour and a half, and definitely want to hear from you guys today. I want to hear what's on your mind. I want to hear where you're checking in from. Evan Reese. What's up, Evan? Evan Reese is checking in from, Evan Reese checking in from Monty Roswell. Jerry Harrison of the Talking Heads checking in from Monroe area. Jerry, do you have any idea what I'm talking about when I say that? Michael Baxter, good evening. Go Milton Eagles. Jim Blair gives us the first South Georgia representation of the day as we come in heavy on North Georgia. Love it. No matter where you guys are from, man. Somebody sent me a thing today on Facebook, said, Phil, you're just that North Georgia guy. Now, do I sound like I'm from North Georgia? Now, I did live in Atlanta for 10 years, but no, man, I'm just a Georgia guy. Just a Georgia boy. That's it. But some guy said, you don't like Fitzgerald anymore. You're not talking about Fitzgerald anymore. Let's see if I can improve this light over there. You don't like Fitzgerald anymore ever since Tucker left. It's amazing. Look, some people get happy when their team wins, and that was a big win for the Fitzgerald Purple Hurricanes, upsetting the Thomasville Bulldogs. And so, most people it makes happy, but this gentleman, I'm trying to remember who it was. He's a regular, and I think he was kind of half joking with me, but, you could tell that, okay, we won, so now, by golly, who's laughing now kind of thing. Look, and he was angry because I didn't have didn't have Fitzgerald preseason ranked in the top 10, okay? And to be very honest with you, Fitzgerald has played like I knew what I was talking about for the first half and plus of the season. But now they did come up with a big win over Thomasville. You got to wonder if they caught Thomasville reeling off of that tough, emotional loss against Worth County the week before. So, teams respond to games like that differently. You just got to wonder if it took maybe a little something out of Thomasville. Again, I'm just speculating, although I think Thomasville is going to be just fine when it's all said and done. Okay, so Claudia Noel Main is back in the house. What's up, Claudia? What you doing? Jamie Fraley Seeger is checking in. What's up, Jamie? I was hoping to see you in here today, checking in from Camden County. Not Waycross today. Is that right? All right. Heather Knight Rodriguez. Hey, y'all. TCC checking in. Juancimo Villalobos is checking in from Gainesville. What's up, my friend? Great win last Friday. Yeah, I want to talk about that as we get started here. A big win over Milton. New week, same goal. I hear you, brother. No doubt about that. Obadiah Farley. What's up, brother? Good to see you in the house. Obadiah, I did get your message, by the way. I appreciate that. And Obadiah, I don't know what I'm talking about. Yeah, that stinks, man, what you sent me. Anyway, that's something between me and Obadiah. James Andrews. What's up, James? James, has people ever mistaken you for Dr. Jimmy Andrews, the famous orthopedic surgeon? The guy that basically invented the surgery to replace the, what is it in the elbow? You know what I'm talking about. Anyway, James Andrews says, go Vikings. So we have a very good representation in the house already today. We've got North Georgia. We got Monroe area, which is, kind of North Georgia, but not really. Jerry, that Monroe now, is that Monroe County for the Monroe Area High School? Am I right about that? Help me out there. Just wondering about that. James Andrews says, I wish. I know, right? Boy, big money. Big money with Dr. Jimmy Andrews. He was the one that pioneered the, what is it, guys? The elbow injury, where you take the ligament and you do all this work with it, where basically you make it where a pitcher can actually pitch again. What is that called? Rusty, where have you been, dog? My dog is in here. To what do we owe thee, Jink? The Jinkster himself, ladies and gentlemen, the one, the only, Rusty Cravey. Let's all give Rusty Cravey a hand. Rusty is my buddy, ex-Marine. Always love to hang out with Rusty. Always love to hang out with Rusty. He's a good friend, man. He's a good dude. Rusty, I really enjoy every time I see you in the house, man. Good buddy of mine. Calvin Jones. Hey, I'm checking in from Valdosta, Georgia. Calvin, what's up, brother? When you say Valdosta, are you a Valdosta fan or a Lowndes fan? Just curious. Doesn't matter. Luke Bush. I know who he's a fan of. Of course, he's a big Valdosta Wildcat fan. We all know that. Luke Bush. Yeah. All right. Jerry Harrison says Monroe area and Monroe City. The city of Monroe, not Monroe County. So where is Monroe City at? Well, help me out here, buddy. I'm geographically challenged on stuff like that. Jane Harbin Cuppet, Central Georgia, go Houston County Bears. Absolutely, Jane. I hope you saw the Tommy John surgery. Yeah, you're right. Ulterior ligament. There's something else in there. Anyway, we'll get it. Jane Harbin Cuppet. I hope you're getting a chance to see the Jeremy Edwards Houston County Coaches Show. By the way, that's the Hoco Bears hat, Jane, that I'm sporting today. I've got a lot of swag the last couple of weeks in the mail. McEachern's coach, Kareem Reed, sent me a bunch of stuff that I am so proud of. Nice stuff. I mean, nice looking stuff. Been wearing it. So funny this morning. I did 4 coaches shows, okay? I'll do 2 more tomorrow. This morning I did the Roswell Coaches Show, McEachern Coaches Show, Houston County Coaches Show. Did I say Worth? Hoco, Roswell, McEachern. Okay. And it was like a ward. It was like an actor or something, or like a rock star, which I'm not. But I was having to make a wardrobe change in between every coach's show that I did, because I didn't want to wear the McEachern swag while I was talking to the Roswell head coach. Not that they're really competitors, but it's just it's a respect thing. But I would have to, wait a minute, I'll be right back. I'd have to run, get in the phone booth, go change, like Superman, which is kind of funny, though. I thought it was kind of funny. But anyway, all right, let me get caught up here. Jerry Harrison. Okay, so it's Walton County, just outside of Athens. Okay, so that is Monroe area. Now I know. How did the name come about from Monroe area? It's Monroe, the city of Monroe. I got it. Okay. Brian Bird checking in. What's up, Brian? Checking in from Fitzgerald. Claudia Noel Main says, I'm just chilling out. Billy Downing. You go, Luke. Let's see, did Luke get me on that? No, Luke Bush is all Lowndes Vikings. He is not Valdosta fan. I was just throwing a little bit of shade at him there. So I was just messing with you, Luke. Luke Bush, I think, is president of the Lowndes Touchdown Club, in fact. So he's a big Lowndes fan. Oh, Luke, boy, do we have a big one brewing with Lowndes and Valdosta. Still a little bit of business to take care of. Still some business to take care of. Can't overlook anybody, but boy, that's the one that everybody's got their own. Wintersville Classic Halloween night special. Ooh, boy, things are going to get spooky, all right. All right, yeah, James Andrews said that's Tommy John surgery. You're right. Rusty says I'm bowling. No, I'm bowing. You're bowing? Well, that's good. We all should be praying. I get it, Rusty. That's good. I don't know if you left out the L. If you're bowing, which is good, or you're bowling, which is good. Both those things. Andrew Watkins tells us Doherty homecoming Thursday night. Who they got? Obadiah Fall, he says, you got a lot of heat with your top 25. Oh, you're right. I did. People don't like the fact that I rated Worth County as high as I did. Yeah, whatever. Yeah, it comes with the territory, man. Obadiah, remember this. In our business, there is no such thing as bad engagement. engagement is good. That is, people responding to you, people paying attention to you. Now, if people were ignoring the top 25, if people wasn't bothering to say anything about the top 25, I'd be worried. But the fact that people are paying attention, good or bad, it's okay. It's all good, really. That's fine. That's cool. I can take the heat. Not a problem. Not a problem at all. So a lot of people have kind of been getting at me about the Worth County pick. Okay. Look, it's not, I'm not saying necessarily that, Worth County could beat everybody, on the list. That's not what it means. Worth County deserves to be recognized, because they are right now on their way, it looks like, to a state championship. And I know there's a lot of football that's to be played, but they have commandeered that classification and that region so far. Okay. So yeah, I think they deserve, with the team they've got, the players they've got, the season they had last year. I think they're on their way. I think they're a really good program. So yeah, I will justify my ranking. A lot of people get caught up in, if it's a smaller school, you can't rank them high. Well, why not? I mean, their boys are just like the other team's guys. I mean, you know what I'm saying? They're not smaller. They lift weights. They lift the same amount of weights. Yes, there may not be 180 guys on the roster. May only be 80 guys on the roster. But hey, at the end of the day, man, you're only going to play 11 at one time on either team. So it really doesn't really matter how big your roster is. Anyway, that's kind of my rationale. Yeah. So, but Obadiah, you're right. Did catch a lot of heat. Love the heat. Heat is good. Heat is a good thing. On one Simo Villalobos, Nigel Newkirk. Yes, he is one of our top 10 performers. So I get the stats every week from the Gainesville coaching staff. And by the way, I want to encourage you guys, ask your coaching staff to send me their stats. Okay? Because what I'm doing, I'll be honest with you, I'm going to acknowledge the coaches who take the time to send me their players. I'm going to acknowledge those as our top performers. Okay? Because what I have done, for fear of missing somebody, I've been going back and looking to see exactly who top performers were. But now, from now on, it's the coaches that submit their players going to get consideration. Okay. So anyway, Vincent Kearse, what's happening, brother? Great game by your Sumter County Panthers the other night. That was a big one. Calvin says, I am a Valdosta fan. Rufus is the man. It says, Colquitt has a chance to make the playoffs this season. Duh, you think? Abby Pearson checking in, going, Clinch County Panthers. What a game that was. And we're going to get into that one as well. Rusty Gravy says, from all the praise, absolutely, brother, I'm with you 100%, Rusty. Rosser Sutherland checks in from Marietta. Boy, I know you got to be excited about your Marietta Blue Devils. Rosser Sutherland is our number one Marietta Blue Devil fan. They started out 0-4, I mean, stinking it up. All of a sudden, lo and behold, hey, look at the Blue Devils. Cam Duke might as well run for mayor up there. But big win for Marietta over North Cobb this past week. Rosser, I think they've beaten North Cobb and Walton the last 2 weeks, have they not? Those are big, big time wins for Marietta. Let's see if they can keep it going. We shall see for sure. Andrew Watkins says we got Cairo for homecoming. Oh, well, that's going to be tight there, bro. Gabe Garrett says, good evening, Phil. I'm checking in from Toombs County. What's up, Gabe? Gabe, it's just like I think I ranked your Toombs County team. Didn't I? Top 25? Again, man, I don't care what size the school is. If they're good, defending state champion, then you deserve to be there. Obadiah Farley says, facts, brother. That's what it's all about. Facts. Word. All right. Jim Blair, cooling down. Brian Bird, okay, we got you, Phil. Toombs versus Worth for the championship would be a great game. Listen, I got to be honest with you. I want to give props to my buddy Darius Kirksey, big Langston Hughes fan. He's been doing some research. I know Alan Clanton has also been doing some stuff. Matthew Park checking in. Matthew, what's up with you, man? I hadn't seen you in a while. Peach County checking in. We love the show. Matthew, thank you for saying that, man. I appreciate that so much, dude. Does my heart so good, man, when you guys compliment me like that. And I'm not being facetious. I'm dead honest with you, man. That means everything to me. I mean, look, we went from having all the helmets behind me, and we scaled it down a lot, and now there is nowhere to hide. It's just me and you guys. That's it. And we're just in there talking football. So I appreciate that. I'm naked for everybody to see. Oscar Miles, what's up, Oscar? Carver Columbus in the building. Oscar, I think that game against Sumter County was the best thing the doctor could have ordered for you guys. Not that there was anything wrong with you, but I think now that you guys have, you guys almost tasted defeat. You didn't. You did what championship teams do. You fell behind. That thing was like 3-0, 2-0 forever. Carver Columbus had an early safety. Led 2-0. Sumter County comes back, takes the lead 7-2. And then lo and behold, here comes Carver with a touchdown by 4 minutes left, and they were able to hold on and win 8-7. But that is what championship teams do. If you are a true championship team, it's like all those teams with Tom Brady and the Patriots. Tom Brady wasn't the fastest. In fact, he was pretty slow. Tom Brady didn't have the strongest arm, not by a long shot. He was not the best athletic quarterback, not by a long shot. But you know what Tom Brady was? He was a winner. He knew how to get it done. You just get it done. Nike kind of guy. I tell you, man, that's what it's all about. Figure out a way to get it done. Don't bellyache and make excuses, and just find a way to get it done. No excuses. Don't want to hear about this or that. And that's what makes Tom Brady great. That's what makes Carver Columbus great. Milton suffers a tough loss, but again, I want to talk about Milton. Now, I know Gainesville fans are happy. You beat Milton, and you ended like I think 7 years. Think about this. Milton had gone 7 years. What's up, Stephen K. Wynn? Checking in from Trojan Nation in Leesburg. Let's finish the season strong. I hear you. Stephen Tate checking in. I'll get caught up with you guys in a minute. But Milton lost their first region game in 7 years. I'm pretty sure I'm right about that. I'm pretty sure. First home loss in 17 games, I think. So it's been a while since Milton has lost a home game or a region game. They did lose to Gainesville, but again, I want to preface and qualify that Milton lost to Gainesville. I'll do that in just a minute. Obadiah Farley, bring back the helmets. I wish I could, man. I ain't got no room. This is my house. It's my house, man. Ain't got nothing but room for the award that I won back in the newspaper business behind me there. Oscar Miles, I can't go by that game. Weather was HELL. Me personally, just my opinion. I really wanted to show the state how much Sumter County is not on our level. Okay. All right, Oscar. Well, look, you guys did what it took to win. But I think Sumter did prove that they're on your level. I know the weather was bad, but remember, Oscar, both teams had to play in it. Anyway, just saying. J.E. Woods, hey, Phil, I'm checking in from Gwinnett County traffic. I got to be honest with you, Jay. As much as that drives you crazy, I get it. I miss that. I miss the traffic of Atlanta. And somebody's like, we'll slap you. I miss it. I love living in Atlanta. I miss living in Atlanta. Lived there for 10 years. And I would love to go back. Yeah, I'm happy where I'm at now. Don't get me wrong. But I told Mark, I said, Mark, send me let me work from Atlanta. We're a statewide company. But no, man, it's all good. But it's great. I love Atlanta. But Jay Woods, I know what you're talking about with the traffic, brother. CJ Lane checking in. Cook High Hornets. Yeah, we got some big games. I see you, Ross, for Sutherland. CJ Lane says Cook Hornets checking in 5-3 on the season. We need to win our next 2 region games. You do. Stephen Tate, you're nuts, Phil. Yeah, you're right. I am nuts. Sometimes you feel like a nut. Sometimes you don't. Remember that one? Almond Joy's got nuts. Mountains don't. How many of y'all remember that one? That commercial. Ross for Sutherland, biggest game in 6A this week is McEachern at Hillgrove. It is. We talked about that. this morning on the McEachern Coaches Show. If you guys aren't checking out our Coaches Show, you should. We really get some insight into all of our teams and some of the other teams that are in the region but are in the state. So you guys need to check it out. McEachern Coaches Show, Tift County Coaches Show, Colquitt County Coaches Show. This morning we talked with Worth County's coach Jeff Hammond. Houston County, it's no coincidence, I don't think, that all the coaches shows we are doing, the coaches are winning. Tift County's coach, look, and it's not Jeff Littleton's fault. He's doing a great job. Coach Littleton just has some things to overcome. Yeah, that's all that's about. Okay. So, Evan Reese, I love Atlanta, but there's nothing fun about making 2 hours to go from Roswell to Hughes when we are in the same county. I hear you, man. Darius Kirksey, there he is. Speaking of Hughes, checking in all the way from South Fulton. I hear you, Darius. Darius, have I ever told you, man, the McEachern, the Hughes, was it Hughes? McEachern game? I believe it was. McEachern Hughes game up there at McEachern at Hughes Stadium. I'm sorry. It was the hottest game I've ever been to, ever been a part of, by far. It would have been 2 years ago. I think it was McEachern. Anyway, very hot place. One of the hottest stadium I've ever been in my life. And I don't know if it was just that day or what. Tony Wynn checking in from Jackson, Alabama. What's up, Tony? Jackets Nation. So you are, Tony, are you a Thomas County Central Jacket fan? Is that right? And you just happen to live in Jackson, Alabama. Earl Brooks checking in. Earl, what's going on, man? Good to see you. Earl Brooks from Talk That Talk. Is it Talk That Talk 229? Make sure I get it right. Earl, help you plug you guys, man. You guys are on Sunday night, I believe, right? You and, is it Mo Wilkie? Earl Brooks, of course, the father of the one, the only, the dominant Cam Brooks, who is an absolute beast. Statesboro win over Brunswick was a big upset. Yes, it was, Evan Reese. Joshua Chase Garnto. Phil, I'm late to the party, my guy. What's up? Viking Nation in the house. Boy, your Lowndes High Vikings looking good. What's up, Joshua? Glad you can make it. Kevin Robinson, do you think Tiff can win one of the last two games? Absolutely, I do. 100% I do. No doubt. Open Out Farley wants to know what's my biggest upset this week. Let's see. Biggest upset. Probably, it's probably, gosh, I don't know. I was going to say the biggest near upset was Eastside almost beating North Oconee. We had two games that would have been monumental upsets. They did not happen, but again, it goes back to that championship pedigree that I'm talking about. So, Carver, Columbus, I mentioned it a while ago, okay? They score with 4 minutes left in the game to take the lead. They hang on, they win. That's what championship caliber teams do. Same thing with North Oconee. North Oconee playing Eastside. The Eastside of what? I don't know. But they played Eastside. And they're the Eastside Eagles, 4-4 on the year. So they score to what looks like to tie North Oconee 14-14. And who knows what was going to happen there. But North Oconee, like championship teams do, found a way. They blocked the extra point. Voila. North Oconee hangs on to win 14-13. How about that? On the same night, we had two teams, two defending state champions that happened to hang on and win by 1 point with late game saving plays. Coincidence? I think not. I don't think so. Something, I don't know, something in the stars, I don't know. Something there. Crazy. It's just, listen, it's been that year for high school football. We're not through yet. In fact, with these playoffs coming up, just going to get started. We're just really going to get started with the second season, so to speak. So, Big game coming up. McEachern and Hillgrove. Have you guys seen what Hillgrove has been doing, by the way? They have shut out, I think, every opponent except for like 2 or 3. The Hillgrove Hawks, who have always been known for their offense, and they are scoring a lot of points too. But McEachern is going to be taking on Hillgrove. Game of the week, without a doubt. That's going to be a big one. McEachern wins this one, or whoever wins this one, let me put it that way, is going to be front and center, the leader of the pack in the region, without a doubt. No doubt. Whoever wins that game, they're going to move up to the front of the line, so it's going to be interesting. Jim Blair, Rabun County, biggest loss was the biggest upset. You know what? That's a good call. Who did they lose to? Rabun County. Who was that loss to? Just a crazy. Listen to us. Listen to what we're talking about. This is crazy. What a crazy night. Friday night. I mean, Marietta was 0-4, and all of a sudden they're back in the looking like they're going to win the region. I mean, are you kidding? Kenneth Hurst, TCC checking in. What's up, brother? I hope I'm not missing anybody. Matthew Felder checking in. Felder. Cecil Fielder. Earl Brooks, yes it is. Talk 229, and thanks for the plug. Always showing Big Cam love, of course, man. It's from the heart, Earl. I promise you that, buddy. Daryl Kramer, Appling County Pirate in the house. What's up, my man? Listen, Appling County starting to show signs of life with Tucker Pruitt. They're playing better. They're playing well. Like to see that. Kevin Robinson, Marietta High School Blue Devils started 0-4. Now they are undefeated in the region. Yes, they are, Kevin. We were just talking about that. So they're playing well. Listen, Kevin, Rosser, really anybody. Listen to me, guys, please. I'm asking y'all, guys. Not listen to me, but please listen to me. We need your tailgate pictures. Okay? I know we have proud tailgaters out there. Let's get your tailgate pictures. Okay, we've received a few, but we want more. Let us get your tailgate pictures. And we have got this deal going on with Sunset Farm Sausage, okay? And they give away a free care pack of sausages. In fact, I have seen it, and it's like a lot. It's like a lot of sausages. But they give away some of every of their flavors of sausage. I've had people take pictures of me. My buddy Big Buford, Luke Nelson, took a picture and sent it to me. Our friends over at Lowndes, Big Tom with the Concrete Palace Tailgate Club, sent me his. Can't get this light right. So anyway, send us your tailgate pictures, and we will send you guys a care pack, or Sunset Farms will mail it out to you, and that way you can use it however you want to. You don't have to use it at tailgate, but that's kind of part of the deal, right? So Jim Blair, Oglethorpe County, yes. So Oglethorpe County beat Rabun, is that right? Big time loss. Again, we've had this is the kind of year this is unbelievable. Yeah, Gabe Garrett says Oglethorpe County beat Rabun. Yes, it was. Brian Bird, Fitzgerald just threw that game away with Appling. It sounds like it. Jim Blair, Brooks, watch out. Catch me when we play Coffee. All right, guys, let's talk about some of this football. Okay, what about Clinch and Brooks County? And listen, I still think Brooks County, they're crazy, man. That's a weird phenomenon. And that's a good word to use when we describe Brooks County. They're like a phenomenon, okay? Because they have lost some close games. They didn't score any points. Nobody almost scored points in the Clinch-Brooks game. Clinch blocks a field goal. I think it was Fred Causey that blocked it. Somebody else picked it up and ran it like 85 yards for a touchdown. And Clinch County wins at 6-0. Now, by the way, let me know who picked up the touchdown and ran it in. But anyway, so Clinch wins that game 6-0. So Brooks has had some tough luck this year. But you know what? At the end of the day, and I got to go back and check, but I think both us and the AJC still have Brooks County ranked. And that's because I think a lot of people feel like that, hey, Brooks County's probably going to be there when it's all, in the end, when it's all said and done. I still believe that. But, it's kind of weird because nobody would really be doing, nobody else would get the respect that Brooks has. It's just weird. It's a good thing for Brooks and fans of Brooks, but it's just weird. Like I said, there's just this innate confidence that I have. I know Todd Holcomb, AJC has. A lot of people do around the state that cover and know high school football. We think that that Brooks County, Buford, we feel that Brooks County is still got it. They still got it, no doubt. No doubt. So, just an interesting phenomenon there with Brooks. What about Milton? Okay, I want to talk about Milton for a second. Okay, Milton loses to Gainesville. Two things. That is a huge win for Gainesville, for the Gainesville Red Elephants and Josh Niblett. Why? Because Josh Niblett gets to Gainesville his first year, takes him to the state championship game against Hughes. They lose. I think it was 35-28. And since then, Gainesville has been struggling to get back to that championship game. And they haven't been able to make it. And the problem is Gainesville has not been able to win that game. And when I say that game, I'm not necessarily talking about any game in particular, but I'm talking about just when everything's on the line and you need a win, like the Milton game. It's not like anything was on the line, maybe a region title or number one seed, but Gainesville just needed to get that win, and that was the win they got over Milton. Okay, I hope you guys understand kind of where I'm going with all that. You needed that signature win. There we go. That's what I'm looking for. Gainesville needed that signature win. They got it over Milton because it was at Milton. Now, having said that, let's kind of qualify that win. Okay. So, Milton, and this takes nothing away from Gainesville. I don't want anybody to think that. Okay. I don't want anybody to think that that this demeans or underscores the win by Gainesville, because it does not. But let's put things in perspective. Milton has been playing with three different quarterbacks. Derek Baker still not back, I don't think. You got, is it Ben Halevi? I think that's how you say his last name. Yeah, Ben Halevi played, and I think Ben is a freshman or sophomore, I believe. But, they went from Derek Baker to the other quarterback to Ben and Trey. I can't remember his last name. Somebody's going to have to help me out there. But bottom line is, they went from having, of course, arguably the state's best quarterback last year in Luke Nickel. We know what he did. You go from that to having a three-headed quarterback monster at Milton this year. That really prevents any kind of true consistency with your offense. The quarterback, where receivers get used to a certain cadence and certain count rhythm and that kind of thing. So it's been tough with Milton having to play three different quarterbacks, but they have found a way to get it done. That was only their second loss of the season. That other loss, they could have beaten, they had Buford on the ropes. So what is my point? My point is that do not count Milton out just yet. Don't. That would be a big mistake. And Michael, there you go. Hey Phil, what about Gainesville Friday night? Tony Wynn, Thomas County Central versus Hoco, game of the week next Friday. Man, you're not kidding. Kenneth Hurst. Absolutely. It's not how you start, it's how you finish. That's Jeff Littleton's favorite saying, and he's right. He's absolutely right. Michael Wise Jr. has some words of encouragement for me. And Michael Wise says, Phil, tell these hating to quit worrying about your pick on them Worth County Rams, because they Okay, I better stop. Better stop right there. But thank you, Michael. Point taken, buddy. Oh my goodness. Kenneth Fleming says, "What's up, Phil? Richmond Hill had you fooled." Okay, let's talk. Thank you, Juancimo Villalobos, who corrects me. Ben Halevi, sophomore. Trey Hassan, freshman. There you go. Both of them young guys, by the way. But I'm with you. So let's talk about Richmond Hill. Kenneth Fleming says Richmond Hill had me fooled. Okay, I don't think that's the case. I don't think they had anybody fooled. You come out and you throw 2 pick sixes in your first 2 possessions. I think that's right. Excuse me, guys. I'm trying to get the light right because it's just bearing down on me. So Richmond Hill didn't have me fooled. Look, they've been playing well, but here's how I want to address that. I think Valdosta did an excellent job of rebounding, and I'll turn that around from Richmond Hill had me fooled. No, Valdosta had everybody fooled into thinking that, okay, they're not as good as everybody thought. But no, sir. And look, I said this, after Valdosta got beat by Colquitt, people were asking me, do you still think Valdosta's top of the line? And yeah, I do. And I did say that. Because I think I'm right. I think Valdosta's got the best talent from top to bottom in Region 1-6A. And I didn't back away from it then, and I'm not going to back away from it now. So yeah, I think Valdosta's got the team, and boy, I'm gonna tell you, it wasn't as much Richmond Hill having anybody fooled as it was Valdosta stepping up big time. Okay, and coming up big time. So I want to mention that about Valdosta and Richmond Hill. How about the Lowndes High Vikings? They get another big win. They go to Camden County and get a big win over Camden, another signature win. And I got to be honest with you guys, right now, boy, it is looking like a Halloween showdown on Halloween night. Halloween night, Wintersville Classic. Now, who are the teams still got to play? So Valdosta still has to play Tift and whom? I'm trying to think who they are. Anyway, but obviously Valdosta has got a couple of games to get through. Lowndes has got a couple of games to get through. But I think for all intents and purposes, it's going to be Lowndes and Valdosta duking it out. Final region game for both teams Halloween night. What a treat that is going to be. If they stay undefeated in the region. Michael Lotto wants to know, where's Mark today? Mark is not here. Mark is out today. All right, so you got some questions. So Darius Kirksey says Milton will likely see Hughes in the quarterfinals, 3rd round. Oh yeah, absolutely. I appreciate that, Darius. Darius is our official bracketologist. The guy has really been setting up some big time matchups, potential matchups. So Darius, I want to write these down, talk about them with our viewers. So Milton likely to see Hughes in the quarterfinals. Wow, you believe that? All right, Darius, I apologize for being redundant. I know I asked you earlier, but there's some other big time matchups that are going to be coming up potentially in the playoffs. Okay, let's talk about this weekend. Okay, let's talk about Thomas County. Well, let's talk about Houston County. Houston County is taking on Coffee. And then we got a couple of Coffee guys in here. We got Thomas County. We got a couple of Houston County fans in here. We got some Coffee fans. We got Stephen Tate in here. So I want to get y'all, and really you don't have to be a fan of either team, but I want to get y'all's take on Coffee and TCC. Remember last year, Coffee won this game 14-0. I think the score surprised a lot of people in that Coffee shutout. That Coffee shut out Houston County. Now, I don't think that's going to happen this year. Coffee is young, and I'll be honest with you, guys better get him while you can, because this will not last long. I believe Mike Coe is going to have Coffee right back to his winning ways next year. Stephen Tate, you can kind of tell me what's in the pipeline, but I just don't see Coffee being down for much too longer. But again, Stephen, you've got more insight into the program over there. You tell us, give us the scouting report, Stephen Tate, or any other Coffee fan that's in the house. What is the deal with Coffee? How good are they going to be? Richmond Hill has some big games left with Lowndes and Colquitt. Yeah, boy, that is, isn't it? Whew. So what would happen? Just curious. Jim Blair, what would happen if Richmond Hill loses against Lowndes and Colquitt? Where does that region go? Stephen K. Wynn, pretty interesting comment here. Luke Nickel was the man, but that supporting cast of 4- and 5-star players that transferred into Milton last season was the difference. Plus, Coach Sly spying on Region 2. 5A disguised as a guest on the podcast last season. I love it. Stephen K. Wynn says Sly going undercover. I love it. Oh, man. You gotta love it. Whoa, Michael Lotta. What? Michael Lotta, who are your candidates for the Lee County job? None. He's not open. And by the way, in case you guys missed it, once again, ITG. What's up, Trip Block? Just saw my man Trip Block in the house. Made my day. ITG Next, the first, in case you guys have not seen it, ITG Next, the first to break the news that Dean Fabrizio is back. Don't know if you guys saw it or not. Yours truly posted the story super early today, like middle of the night, super early. But it was the AM hours. And it did happen on Monday. So, cannot disclose my sources. But I'll stick by my sources who told me that Lee County has reinstated Dean Fabrizio. Easy for me to say. So there you go. Dean Fabrizio is back. And again, as I mentioned, ITG Next, we were the first to break the news. So there you go. Don't you love that when that happens? All right, let's see who else is in the house. So Gainesville TCC, that's right, Gainesville TCC in the 5A semifinals. That's another one that Darius Kirksey had told me about. Boy, that's going to be, man, can y'all imagine that one? Coffee beat Hoco. Was it 21-0? I thought it was 14-0. Swear you cannot trust Max Preps at all. Trip Block, what's up, my man? Trip Block, my hero. What's up, Trip? Jim Blair, they're going to Buford. Who is that? Talking about Richmond Hill? Oh, Lord. Listen. Chris Pace is in the house. What's up, Chris? So what do we owe thee, man? We have got the administration for South Georgia, South and Middle Georgia High School football. We got Talk That Talk crew in here today. Again, appreciate you guys checking out the show. Everybody checking out the show. What is on your mind, man? There's so much to talk about. You know, I'm just trying to kind of nail down some stuff here to talk about. Obviously, the Sumter Carver game turned out to be a lot closer than people thought. A lot of people thought this was going to be a repeat of last year when everybody was up for this game. Turns out, of course, last year Sumter got blown out. Did not happen this year. But what a job Will Rogers has done at Sumter County. Win, lose, or draw. The guy has done an incredible job. And even though they lost that game, boy, Sumter proved that, hey, we are here. We belong, and they could be making some noise in the state playoffs. Just look out for that for sure. Of course, like I said, North Oconee almost gets beat, but almost is not good enough. Eastside. Now, see, Eastside is not Carver and Sumter. So I don't know where Eastside come from. We'll see if that is an omen of things to come. By the way, that Milton loss at home to Gainesville, that was their first home loss in I think 17 or 18 games. The region loss. Do you guys know how long it had been since Milton had lost a region contest? I think it was 7 years. That according to Sly and the Family Stone. Papa was a rolling stone. All right, let's see here. Wherever he laid his hat was his home. That's all I think about every time I see her talking to Sly. All right, so what do you guys think? Trip Block, what do you think? I'll tell you this. I think people better not sleep on Lee County. Okay? I thought a lot of people probably thought this Dean Fabrizio situation was going to be a distraction. It is not. Lee County's just going to keep rolling. In fact, this may invigorate the team. This may, things like this sometimes can have a weird reaction when you're talking about impressionable young men. We'll see if that happens, but I think Lee County is a little better than people are giving them credit for. And I guess the thing about it too this year, guys, Lee County, you don't have that constant normal pressure that Lee County has had. You know what I mean? They're a good team, but obviously I don't think a lot of people are expecting them to do much. So that's kind of my take on that. Darius Kirksey says, yep, 7 years. Now, they hadn't been in that exact region, but yeah, it was first region loss in 7 years. I got to be honest with you. That's pretty impressive. That is very impressive. Marietta looking at Buford in a coin flip in round 3. Should we win the region and make it that far? So, again, we've got some pretty good potential matchups. And, again, I want to thank my buddy Darius Kirksey. He's kind of been our bracketologist, giving me some updates on this. Thomas County Central and Milton potential. What is that, Darius? That's a potential quarterfinal matchup or semifinal. Incredible. By the way, what do you guys think about our new top 25? Odias is TG. Milton in the building. Black eye and all. Hey, man, we've been talking about you, Odias. Odiases. Am I saying that right? Odiases? Help me out. Phonetically spell it out for me. TCC Gainesville, 275-mile coin toss since they'll both be region champs. Okay, Darius, now let me tell you this. Okay, I got one better for you. How about Valdosta to Gainesville and back home? That's what yours truly did last year. When we were up there, ITG Next, we had our ITG Next game of the week every Friday night last year. And last year, our game of the week for that particular week was Gainesville hosting the Milton Eagles. And me and our videographer left about 9 o'clock Friday morning, rode up there, and beautiful stadium there at Gainesville. Unbelievable. The press box is unlike anything I've ever seen. State of the art. And had some Gainesville swag waiting on me. I appreciate Adam Lindsay, the athletic director there, for giving me that. Oh, nice pullover. But we got into the game, and again, this was our ITGNS game of the week last year. Pretty good game for about 3 quarters. And then Milton took over. Again, that man, Luke Nickel, gets it done. So Milton takes over, and they run away with it at the end. I think it was something like 41-24, or maybe a little more. But Adam Clack, the man who started it all at Milton, and he's now the Parkview head coach. But Adam Clark was my guest color commentator for the game, and I was so honored to have him with me. But we did the game, did the play-by-play, and yours truly, I always stand when I do the play-by-play of all the games. I never sit down, never. And I've got my binoculars, checking out the game, but I stand the whole game. And then when it's all over, pack it up, get in the car, and I drive back home to Valdosta. Got back about 4:30. About 4:30. Now that's a haul. That's a day right there. But you know what? I miss it. And by the way, we have had quite a few requests for us to go back to do that. To start doing our game of the week. What do you guys think? Would y'all like to see it return? Just asking. I really like our Friday night scoreboard show, but, Yeah, by the way, that and I'll get y'all's comments here in a minute, but, that Milton-Gainesville game, now we got to, again, take everything in perspective. So I mentioned Milton's quarterback situation. They really haven't been able to stabilize that with all the quarterbacks. However, they did outgain Gainesville in total yardage by a bunch. 401. Well, not a bunch. I take that back. Milton had 401 total yards to Gainesville's 367. Okay. Also, Milton misses a crucial field goal. They lose a fumble, I guess, on 2 different drives. So I'm just reading this from this morning's Georgia High School Football Daily. So obviously Milton was there and let it get away. So, again, I'm not taking anything away from Gainesville. I don't want anybody to think that. Excuse me, guys. Odysseus. I'm trying, man. Odysseus. It pains me to say this, but go Roswell. Rooting for them to pull it out against the Red Elephants. Sorry if I missed it, but what does a 3-way tie in our region mean? That's a good question. Does anybody? Darius Kirksey, Stephen K. Wynn, they are kind of our official go-to guys when it comes to the the rule book and that kind of stuff. Or if anybody else knows, because I do not. I think it's. Oh, excuse me, I bit my tongue. I think it's region head-to-head, isn't it? Maybe wrong. I don't know. Somebody help me out with that. Kenneth Fleming says, "Hey Phil, if TCC and Lee County played again, how do you think it will go?" I got to be honest with you, Kenneth. I think TCC might be. I think they might be the best team in the state. I really believe that. I really do. Boy, our color all of a sudden got better. I don't know where that came from. But yeah, I do, man. I think TCC's. Yeah. Here's the only reason I don't have TCC in the number 1 spot. Okay. The only reason I don't have TCC in the number 1 spot is because their schedule. And I'm not. And Darius Kirksey's got our answer, by the way. I knew he would. Listen, Stephen K. Wynn, Milton competed, but Gainesville had more time. So, yeah, but Milton now gained him in yardage. So that, I just discovered that when I looked up here. Anyway, the only reason I don't have Thomas County Central in a runaway at number 1 in Class 5A is because of their schedule. And I'm not faulting anybody. I'm just telling you. So far, they really haven't had a tough competitor. And again, if that's all they could get, that's all they could get. But I take into account strength of schedule. I think that means something. So, we'll see. We'll see. Do I think Thomas County Central still is very good? Yes, I do. But you've got to play that really good, solid team. You got to get that signature win. and I'm talking about Thomas County Central. And then I'll really start to pay attention. But still, having said that, I still think Thomas County Central will be hard to beat. Now, a lot's going to ride on that TCC HOCO game. That's going to be huge. Obadiah Farley likes that. Obadiah Farley says Lee County wasn't tough. Yeah, you're right, and that's the exception. But still, Obadiah, this isn't the Lee County team that that we have come to know and love, and I think you would agree with that. Lee County's good, but this isn't the Lee County of last year. That's all I'm saying. And like I said, it's not a shot. It's just, the strength of schedule for Thomas County Central has just not been that good. But do I think it's going to hurt them? No, I don't. Obadiah Farley, you love some Lee County. Man, I love everybody. Guys, just because I don't pick somebody number one does not mean I hate them. I can promise you that. Stephen K. Wynn, ouch, Phil, Lee County is nobody now. Okay, I see what y'all doing. You're messing with me now. No, they are not the team that they have been, is all I'm saying. They're still very good. In fact, I said that earlier in the show. They are a team not to be forgotten, for sure. All right, Darius Kirksey gave us the answer. Defaults to points against, points scored if it's a tie. How about that? Wow. So there's your tiebreaker question. Incredible. Our Rosser Sutherland says, with Marietta on a bye week, I'm probably going to go to North Paulding at Wheeler. So what happened in the North Cobb Marietta game? I mean, North Cobb had Marietta by 2 touchdowns late, and they let it get away from them. Give credit to Marietta though; that was a good come from behind win. Okay, real quick, let's take a look at. All right. So who do we think right now? Who are your favorites? Class 6A. And I'll ask Darius Kirksey and some of you other guys to help me on this. So Grayson, Buford. That is the dream matchup in 6A, is it not? And not to take anything away from Lowndes. Is Lowndes ready for prime time? Just asking. Not saying they're not. We remember what happened last year. We got excited about Lowndes. I picked Lowndes to go up to Buford and win. They did not. In fact, they barely showed up. Now, I think it's different, but I'll be honest with you. I think Lowndes is better. I think Buford may actually be better, guys. I mean, it's hard for me right now to see anybody beating Buford and Grayson. Darius Kirksey, where would they meet? I'm going to write it down this time. I know I've asked you that a couple of times. I think you told me earlier today they would meet in the state finals. Is that right, Darius? Help me out with that. So again, curious if Buford and Grayson would meet where? State championship game? There's Tayretta Mayretta checking in. Marietta's got to be the hottest team right now. One of them. I got to tell you, though, guys, McEachern, that region is looking really good right now. Hillgrove is shut out like I don't know how many people in a row. I mean, like 4 or 5 out of the last 6 opponents. It's been incredible what they've done. Okay, Evan Reese, Darius Kirksey. Oh, let me get caught up here. Grayson, Buford would be state, yes. Wow. Guys, can y'all imagine? Buford and Grayson. State championship. I mean, come on. Flip a coin. Who are you going to take in that one? I mean, really, it's flip a coin. Come on. Unbelievable games we're looking at. Moving to 5A. Of course, we've already talked about some of the dream. Before we move to 5A, though, I want to ask you guys. I'm telling you, Valdosta they're the wild card. Valdosta is the wild card. Valdosta's got this penchant, though. They just cannot, for some reason, they when it's on the line, Valdosta has to just, I don't know. Valdosta has got to come through in crunch time. They haven't been able to do that. Valdosta has got to step up, and they've got to win in crunch time. The last 2 years, they've lost to Carrollton. I think it's Carrollton in the playoffs. And you know what? The game was over like in the second quarter. So it's time for Valdosta to step up. No more of this backtracking. Like last year, they lose to Richmond Hill. That set them back. So every year it's like that. So Valdosta's got to start stepping up and picking and winning the games they're supposed to win. That's all I'm saying. So I don't think Hillgrove is state championship material. I do not. And I'm not. That's just not a shot. It's just with the competition. I mean, you guys think Hillgrove could play with Buford? No. Could Valdosta play with Buford? I think they could. But again, you can't fumble the ball and you can't, Valdosta just hurts themselves. That's all. Luke Nelson. My man has made it to Luke Nelson. To what do we owe thee? Big Buford is in the house. Appreciate you coming in, Big Buford. What's up, brother? And by the way, where did my man Rusty Cravey go? Where is Jink Dog? Jink Dog, are you still in the house, by the way? Don't disappear on me. Luke, so I'm going to ask you the question, Luke, and you get to see Buford every night when they play. Buford or Grayson could play for the state. Well, could wind up playing for the state championship. They're on opposite ends of the bracket. I think they will, to be honest with you. I mean, it's just inevitable, isn't it? J.E. Wood says, I honestly think it's 6A. It's Buford, Grayson, and then everybody else at this point. I think it's fair. I think it's fair. I do. Guys, a lot of us have been talking about, who's going to be the next South Georgia team to step up and give a run at whoever the North Georgia team is. I think Colquitt has been the default team that a lot of people go to. That still could be the case. Here's the deal, guys. Okay. Colquitt is the team that will step up and win the big game when they need to. Valdosta is not that team. Okay, and it's not a shot. I'm just telling you in fairness, that's just the way. That's what history has shown. Now that could change, but I don't think it. And until it does, that's what I'm going to go with. So I think that's why Colquitt is kind of the default pick of who's going to be the South Georgia team to represent. No matter who it is, I still think it's going to be Buford and Grayson. That I think they're head and shoulders above everybody else. I really believe that. Luke Nelson, both teams are loaded and deep at every position. You're right. Donnie Jarvis asked, is this Valdosta head coach last year at VES Valdosta High School? I don't know. I don't know. I really don't. Luke Nelson says, life is good in Wolfville. I thought you were going to say Gloryland. I love it. Darius Kirksey, Lowndes versus Buford will be a huge game for the semifinals. I said before, there's no way Buford loses a $16 million coin toss on home field. Yeah, Stephen K. Wynn, possibly, but I don't think Roswell would best TCC. Okay, I'm with you. Maybe. So let's talk about 5A. So we talked about 6A. Let's talk about 5A since you brought it up. All right, so I know my man Darius Kirksey is all over Hughes. I got to be honest with you. They're playing well. Darius, and I don't mean this, and I'm not trying to throw shade here. Has Hughes played enough of a schedule, a strong schedule? Have they played the caliber of opponents they need to? Okay? That's all I'm asking. Look, I'm not saying they're not good, because they are, but it's my same dilemma is kind of with Thomas County Central. And I think both teams are great. Don't get me wrong. But I think Hughes right now, I'm just waiting for them to step up and show me, and they might do it. They may very well do it. But again, you got Thomas County Central. I think Thomas County Central and Hughes, Houston County, I'm really eager to see how Houston County does against Thomas County Central. I think that's going to tell the tale between, but I think right now it's Hughes, Thomas County Central, and Houston County. I don't think Milton's far behind. I wouldn't count them out. Gainesville, I don't know yet. Roswell, maybe, but that's my take there. But I think it's those teams and everybody else, to be honest with you. All right, don't know if you guys want to talk about 4A or not. What is the deal with Creekside? They always seem to be involved in these blowout games. Either they're getting blown out or they're blowing somebody else out, and I'm going to vent a little bit here. There's no reason for 92-0 or whatever it is they beat the school by. Drew, 91-0. Guys, come on. Come on. Really? Am I hair crooked or is that just me? Guys, how do y'all feel about that? And we had a lot of those games this weekend, by the way. I mean, a lot of these games. I mean, just look at it. I'm talking about good teams. There was a lot of blowouts. Too many. I mean, look at this, guys. So I mentioned, Creekside 91-0 over Drew. Come on. Roswell, of course, they beat Chattahoochee 57-13. Rome beats Lithia Springs 65-0. I mean, good grief, man. Come on. Hillgrove beats Campbell 54-0. Of course, we know right now. Listen, Valdosta's win over Richmond Hill. Open out Farley if you're still in the house. To me, that was the most impressive win. Because Richmond Hill, I think, is still good. I think Valdosta proved, though, that on any given night, when they get ready to turn it on, you remember they stepped out and they did that against Richmond Hill, and they fell back, but now here they are back again. By the way, guys, I got to ask you. Luke Nelson says 91-0 is not a good look. No, it's not. Willie Williams says Valdosta needs older person to help Shelton Felton. I believe, I'll agree with that 100%. That is a very good take, Willie. Stephen K. Wynn, and I hear you, man, and I've heard this before. Do you tell the backups not to go out there and play? Okay, look. There's a head coach is responsible for his team. Okay? You can control the game if you want to. I promise you, there's a reason we don't see more of those, because that could happen more, but it doesn't, and it doesn't for a reason. So that's how I'll answer that. But that's a ridiculous score. Come on. Nothing good's going to come of that, except karma, and I believe in karma. Ken Hortman. Ken, what's up, buddy? Ken Hortman says 91-0 is lack of class in trying to set the state scoring record. Xavier Jackson says a lot of people sleeping on these teams. Now, which ones are you talking about, Xavier? Which teams are you talking about that they're sleeping on exactly? Chris Pace, South and Middle Georgia high school football. Chris Pace says Creekside is still ticked and hungry from 2023. I believe that. Darius Kirksey, Douglas County has only lost to us and Buford by 8. Douglas County was our big win. Yeah, but Darius, I don't know how good Douglas County is. I don't. And again, man, I'm not taking shots. Look, I will admit when I'm wrong, and so far I've been wrong about Hughes. I thought Hughes had lost too much to really be as good as they are, but I've been proven wrong. And I have no problem admitting that. But it's like Tom says, I got to see the level of competition get up a little bit more. That's all. Some really good comments today, but guys, by the way, you guys are spot on. Oh, I know what I was going to ask y'all though before we move on. What about Camden County? What's going to happen there? What's going to happen there? Look, Travis Rowland was brought in. Remember, Travis Rowland led Mainland, I think, to the Buccaneers, if I'm not mistaken. Is that right? Whoever they are. Travis Rowland led Mainland to a state championship and an appearance in the state championship in back-to-back seasons. And then that's when Camden County came calling and brought Travis Rowland in to replace the retired Jeff Herron. And remember, guys, Jeff Herron's last season was that explosive year for Camden County where he leads them to the state semifinals. I believe it was. Semifinals. So all thoughts were that, that Travis Rowland was going to, I love the guy. I've talked to him a couple of times. They've got some good players. They've got some really good players. Jamie Fraley Seeger was pointing that out to me earlier today, and I've heard it, of course, from they've got talent. Will Jackson, son of Reggie, where you at, man? He's a good quarterback, really good quarterback. But for some reason, man, they just cannot put it together. So I don't know. I mean, it's really odd seeing Camden struggle like they are. Okay, Xavier Jackson says the ones we've been, you say, so a lot of people are sleeping on these teams, the ones we've been talking about in this chat. Well, we've been talking about a lot of them now. I mean, be specific with me. So, like I said, be specific with me. Kenneth Fleming has got a good question. Kenneth Fleming says, did Creekside dare throw the ball against Drew in the second half? Adam Glover, any thoughts on Locust Grove? Not really. I've been covering them lately, and I'm not sure if they seem like a contender. Now, Adam, are you serious, or are you just being facetious? I don't know whether you're serious or not, because I don't know anything about Locust Grove. No idea. I know Locust Grove is where you start to get into the traffic jam up there around south of Atlanta. Anyway, all right. So 4A. I don't know if you guys want to talk about 4A or not. Creekside, North Oconee, Cartersville. That might be a 3-race team, or a 3-team race, I should say. Listen to me. I just, I don't know. I don't. That's kind of the way I feel about it. 4A. 4A is kind of that classification that not a lot of people pay attention to, not at least in our neck of the woods. I mean, there's kind of somewhere in the abyss is the best way I know how to put it, and that's not a shot. It's just the way it is. Class 3A. Excuse me. Class 3A, what about Peach County? Now, I've had Peach County number 1 in our poll. Even though we do the overall now, we changed our poll last week to top 25 overall, regardless of classification. We'll continue to do that this season. Now, but I still, on behalf of us here at ITG Next, I still submit our regular top 10 by classification to the Atlanta Journal-Constitution, George High School Football Daily. So you guys can see it as part of the statewide composite poll, which really and truly should be your poll, your rankings that you refer to when you're talking about rankings. Because if you say that so-and-so is the number 5 team in the state, you could be talking about anybody's poll. So the best way to get complete, comprehensive ranking is to cite the composite poll, in my opinion. Stephen K. Wynn says Camden's going to have to change their non-region schedule. Some stronger Georgia 5A teams instead of the Florida teams that they've been playing. That's a good point. Darius Kirksey, Locust Grove is 4A. They'll win their region, but once they step off the porch to the real 4A competition, it's a wrap. That's it. Zing. My man Darius Kirksey just puts it like it is. Yeah. And then he goes on to say, then comes Creekside, North Oconee. Yeah. So, yeah. Locust Grove, no. See ya. Stephen K. Wynn basically says the same thing. Dwayne Little, how's Greater Atlanta Christian doing? They used to be a powerhouse. That is a great point, Dwayne. By the way, I've got it here on my list. I kid you not. Greater Atlanta Christian is part of a list that I'm starting. And I promise you guys, I've got it right here. I don't know if y'all can see that. But Greater Atlanta Christian is part of a whatever happened to list. And it involves, or it includes, I should say, Greater Atlanta Christian. Also would involve Cedar Grove. Also would involve Eagles Landing Christian. Not Eagles Landing, but Eagles Landing Christian Academy, ELCA. So you've got right there 3 teams, in the whatever happened to. Oh, here's another one for you. Westminster. Remember, we went up and did a documentary on Westminster Academy. About 3-4 years ago, we went up there, and Westminster had won the overall points total. That is, best overall athletic department. Westminster got it. I think it was called the president's title or something like that. So I'm with you on Greater Atlanta Christian. What in the world has happened to those teams and those programs? I mean, Dwayne Little, that's a great question. And again, I was going to bring that up today. I mean, Westminster got beat 49-0 by Cale. And it just made me think about whatever happened to blank. And again, Cedar Grove. You guys remember when they won all those state titles? Now, I don't think they're done yet, but Warner Robins. Warner Robins is another team, guys. Shane Sams. Now, look, when we've talked about these Houston County, and when I say Houston County, I mean the Warner Robins area, okay? Meaning the teams in that city, not Houston County, the team itself. But you guys know where I'm going. So I just think that it's those teams go through cycles. Northside Warner Robins for years dominated. Warner Robins dominated. Houston County was off the radar. Okay? And now we see it's flipped. Perry was nowhere to be found. So now, you understand what I'm saying? So now you got those teams who were down and out. And now you got those teams who have risen up, meaning Perry, Hoco, and they have taken the place of Northside and Warner Robins. And then you got veterans that's kind of, lingering, around the middle. So those teams cycle in and out, but I think we're also seeing that with, again, Cedar Grove, ELCA, McIntosh County Academy, MCA. Remember those guys? It's interesting, isn't it? You wonder what happened. It's funny, guys. It really that is amazing. That's an amazing story to me. I don't know about y'all guys. Dwayne Little, Cedar Grove, a.k.a. Lego set. Now, why do you say that? I mean, so when I put together a Lego set, it's just very, well, I don't know. What do you mean by that? Somebody help me out. Dwayne Little said, I was thinking you should do one too. Yeah, I think I am. I think I want to do a whatever happened to. Alonzo Wright Sr. says Westover High School, Albany will state. Did you mean to say they will win state in 3A? Is that what you meant? That's a good question, though, Dwayne. I like that. Matthew Park, Bainbridge, another good one. Irwin County. And, of course, now I've got my thing about, those schools, those two at least, and some other. Whenever you see the coach leave, and I think you guys are probably sick of me saying this, when you see a long-time coach leave a program, that is a red flag, man. The school's about to tank. And you know what? At least in those two cases, you see Jeff Littleton leave for Tifton. I know they backed up the Brinks truck for him, but I think Jeff Littleton saw that the cover was about to be bare. That's just my opinion. He hasn't told me that, and I haven't asked. Okay, guys. So we were the first to report Dean Fabrizio expected back today at Lee County, giving credit where credit's due. So we had that news. Yours truly broke that last night late, or you can say early this morning. Unnamed sources tell us that he is back today. He's having served his 2-week administrative leave. Okay. So it wasn't a great big surprise, but again, we were the first to report that reports are that he returns. So also want to talk about real quick the Jay Lamar situation. Now, there have been rumors all weekend that Jay Lamar was back. And I'm curious if he returned to the team today. Does anybody know? Anybody know anything on that? I think it was Dogs HQ that had first reported that he was coming back. But that was like middle of last week or something. So, anyway, don't know if anybody had anything on that at all or not. I saw something that somebody had written on here. I think it was pretty good. Ken Hortman was talking about the coaches that come and go. I don't know where that went, but anyway, that was a pretty good comment. All right, so real quick, but 3A, I don't know if Jefferson is for real. I just don't know. I didn't have them ranked that high in the preseason poll. That they're okay. I'll tell you who to watch out for. And here's something else I want to talk about before we get out of here. We've got about 8 minutes left. So, guys, but in the C preseason, there were teams I said to watch out for. I don't know if you guys remember that story or not. There were 5 teams I said, watch out for these teams. Cambridge is one. And lo and behold, look at Cambridge. I think they're like number 7 or 8. Kell was another one. The Kell Longhorns, they're 6-2. They're the ones that beat Westminster the other night. Okay. McEachern, I said to watch out for. McEachern. I said to watch out for Troop. And again, you guys can go back and check it out. Yeah. What do you say? I got the receipts? Because I do. I said to watch out for all those aforementioned teams that I thought they were teams to watch out for, that they could make some noise. Again, I had Troup County in my preseason top 10. You go, baby. Talking to my dog. Come here, baby girl. Had Class 3A Troup in my preseason top 10. I was the only one out of the 6 of us that take part in the Atlanta Journal-Constitution Georgia High School Football Daily Composite Poll that had Troup County in the preseason preseason Class 3A top 10. And lo and behold, here they are, Troup County. So that's one I got right. So I just wanted to mention that. Now, are they state championship material? I don't know. Now, they're going to play LaGrange. Big rivalry game. They're both in the same county, Troup County, LaGrange. I think they share the stadium. Callaway Stadium. Can anybody confirm that for me? I believe that's right. All right, then you had 2A. I still think it's Carver Columbus. I think it's just. How about Carver Atlanta playing well? But guys, I don't see anybody beating Carver Columbus. I really don't. I just think they're dominant. I think they're a dominant football team. Now, with I know Mr. Kearse, Austin Kearse's father. Apologies to you. You guys played great the other night. If they were to play again, what would happen? And I'll ask that for everybody. Donnie Jarvis says if Jay Lamar is back, that means the inmates are running the prison. Okay. I don't know what that means, but anyway. Stephen K. Wynn, you're absolutely right. When Cedar Grove coach left for the Georgia State job, and they didn't retain the staff, top tier players all left. Yeah, I'd heard that. Sure. Darius Kirksey, hate to say it, but Northside neighborhood starting to decline. Many people moved to Houston County, Rutledge of Macon, Perry, Peach. Darius Kirksey said, I lived in Warner Robins for about 2 to 3 years. Interesting. That's very interesting. How about that? Okay, 2A, I think, like I said, I think it's Carver. In the few minutes we got left here, Carver, I think, go ahead and hand them the state trophy. 1A class, 1A Division 1. I'm catching a lot of heat for having Worth County as one of my top 25 teams. Now, am I off base there, guys? I don't think I am. And Worth County's 8-0, and they're playing really well. And again, I don't care how many A's are in front of the school. I don't think that matters. But I like Worth County. Do they have what it takes to overcome and unseat Toombs County? Remember, I said I thought this year was going to be the year of the repeat. So I may have to, I may be wrong on that one as far as 1A Division 1. I like Worth County a lot. They're playing well. And I tell you, Jeff Hammond is a good coach, doing a great job there. Does Thomasville have the ability to bounce back? I don't know. But I like Thomasville, Cam Hill a lot. And then we talk about Class A Division 2. I think Clinch County. Jim Dickerson has the magic, guys. Jim Dickerson has the magic. He always has. He's back now, of course. Came back last year to coach. Apparently, he's loving it. Look, he's just got that way to connect with the players. Jose Padilla made it in here. Hey, I couldn't catch the show today. Just tuned in. Hello, Mr. Phil. Jose, where you been, man? We miss you. And I do wear your Thomas County Central swag, buddy. Gabe Garrett says Toombs on top. All right, I hear you. But Class A Division 1, Lincoln County, Clinch County, Bowden. By the way, have we forgotten about Bowden? Now, they're 6-2. I think it is a big mistake. Remember, I said that I thought Bowden was going to win. They're going for their 4th in a row. You guys believe that? Now, that's a program. Now, again, if Bowden, they're 6-2, if they were undefeated, would you consider them being a top 25 team? Alan Clinton sure did wait to the last minute. Well, better late than never, Alan. Matthew Park says, like it or love it, the standings. We respect it. Thanks for doing it. It's great to talk about. And I agree. That's what it's all about, guys. It's creating engagement and getting you guys to like our page and to engage with us. That's what it's all about at the end of the day. Jose Padilla says, I don't like your hat, but okay. Oh, man, it's a Hoko hat. I got you. Nothing wrong with that. So Alan Clanton bringing a little bit of levity to the show. A big region champ game on Friday night, Valwood and Deerfield. Boy, that is going to be huge. No doubt, Alan. I'm glad that you're representing those two traditional private powerhouses in Valwood and Deerfield. All right, guys, as we get ready to wrap up, a couple of things I want to remind you guys about. Okay? I need your tailgate. I need your tailgate pictures. Okay? Send me those tailgate pictures and let me know who it is. We want to send you guys out some Sunset Farm sausage. And also, we want to hear from you guys as far as what you guys want to talk about. What are the big items that y'all want to talk about? And again, don't forget our show on Friday night, our new scoreboard show. Oh, I know what I was going to mention. tailgate, and top performers. Let us know who the top performers are. I want to get those guys' stats in on Friday night. I'll remind you guys of that on our Friday night show, our scoreboard show. Where did the time go? Here we are already at 7 o'clock on this hour-and-a-half show every Monday night, Extra Point, with yours truly, Phil Jones. I want to thank Dr. Kevin Collins of the Houston Clinic sponsoring our Monday night show. Dr. Kevin Collins, he is the team doctor for Valdosta State University and the Colquitt County Packers. We appreciate Dr. Collins. KevinCollinsMD.com. You got something wrong with your shoulder, your knee, anything orthopedic? You guys have heard about the Houston Clinic. They're the best in the business. And I'm not saying that. That's the truth. Professional athletes go to Houston Clinic. Kevin Collins, again, there's a reason he was chosen as the team doctor for for Colquitt County and for Valdosta State. So you need to check out Kevin Collins, MD. And again, we appreciate Dr. Collins, his sponsorship of this show, as well as the Sean Calhoun Coaches Show that we do every Tuesday. Luke Nelson, the Sunset Solitude is awesome. Send in those tailgate pics. Guys, let me get those tailgate pictures from y'all, man. Come on, you can send them to Phil at ITG Next. You can send them to me. Go ahead, man. You guys know I got my contact information. You can send it to us on Messenger on Facebook. So, guys, have a great night. Again, don't forget tomorrow morning, bright and early, we'll be talking with Tift County's head football coach Jeff Littleton and Sean Calhoun, head coach of the Colquitt County Packers, as we talk more high school football with the coaches. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Appreciate y'all. Like and share our stuff at ITG Next Georgia. Until Friday night, have a good week, everybody.